Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today we're going to talk about stacking testosterone, masteron, and trenbolone. But before we get into that, I have to reiterate that I am not a doctor, so anything I say in these videos is for your entertainment purposes only. What you do with this information is completely and utterly up to you, and I am not advising nor condoning you to use any of the things that we discuss in any way, shape, or form. So let's get into this one because I know that there's going to be a lot of people wanting to hear about this. Stacking testosterone, trenbolone, and masteron. Now, mind you, trenbolone, as I've said, 1,000,000,000,000, trillion, zillion times is not for a beginner. If you're on your first, second, maybe even third cycle, I do not recommend using trenbolone any way, shape, or form whatsoever. So just keep that in mind before I even go any further. This is a cycle that is like generally preferred for people that are getting ready for a contest or competition. This is basically the go-to stack for said goal. I'm not saying that's the only time that somebody can run it or the only reason. I'm just saying that this is the stack when it comes to that. So, and you know, this can be ran any time of year, but people especially are aiming for it more, in the spring break and summertime months when they're on their cuts. Now, that's not to say people don't cut year round, but that I'm just speaking in terms of when it may be more popularly ran than others. That's the type of cycle this is, just so you know. So, let's get into this. Now, if we're talking long esters, we're talking test, cypionate, enanthate, sustanon, something like that, masteron, enanthate, and trenbolone, enanthate. We're looking at 10 to 12 weeks. And really, I don't like to see tren ran any longer than 12. I would even consider cutting it off at 10 weeks during this cycle, but that's up to you. You can run it 12, but keep the dosing moderate, which I'm going to teach you right now. Test-tren ratio. Get this question all the time. There is no definitive answer here because certain people respond differently to certain amounts. So some people do extremely well running test higher than tren, and some people do not. Some people do extremely well running tren higher than test, and some people feel horrible doing that. So what does Dylan recommend? I recommend keeping them even, okay? Equal dosing. 300 milligrams to 350 milligrams per week of each is perfect. It's a sweet spot. You can mitigate the size. You can get so many of the benefits. You do not need 500 milligrams of tren, and you really don't need 500 milligrams of test, especially on a cycle like this. I don't have a major issue running 500 milligrams of test in general, but you don't need it in this type of cycle. It's unnecessary, and all it's going to do is create problems that you could easily avoid. You could actually, even though tren is known for having, many side effects, I've done trenbolone side effect videos, you can mitigate and avoid a lot of those and really enjoy tren. And enjoying tren is not the easiest thing considering all the negatives that can come along with it. You will enjoy the results. Everybody enjoys the results. But you might not enjoy what you're having to deal with. And what I try to do, because in my belief and in my eyes, if you're on cycle, you should be feeling, I hate to say immortal, but you should be feeling absolutely great. You should be, when you're in the gym working out, you shouldn't be dreading going because you've got so many side effects and you can't get out of bed, or you've got pumps, you've got this, you've got that. You should be feeling phenomenal. You should be in there wanting to just tear it up every single day and go all out. You should feel on top of the world. Well, one of the ways to ruin that is to run extremely high doses and get a ton of side effects. Really, in reality, what's the point if you can't even train like you're supposed to train, if you're lacking motivation, if you're lacking feeling good? It's not the most productive cycle. So why not scale it down a little bit, get the most out of this you can with the least amount of side effects and feel the best and keep your health. God forbid that we do that because we could run crazy doses, right? Meathead guys. Why not teach people how to do this in a manner when they can get the most out of this and avoid all these problems? Anyway, so we got 300 to 350 of each test and tren. Now, masteron, 600 milligrams is a really strong sweet spot per week, but I don't have an issue going up to 800 either. I really don't, because it's well tolerated. Unless you're prone to male pattern baldness, that might be an issue when it comes to hair, but you've got to know that running tren and masteron anyway, and even test. This is not a hair-friendly cycle if you're prone to MPB, but if you're not, you shouldn't have any problem. And I just did a whole entire video on, discussing hair loss and steroids, covering it top to bottom, which you can watch, and that will help you as well. Now, if we're running shorter esters, which many, and I would prefer to see people do on this cycle, 8 weeks is perfect for test prop, mast prop, and Tren-Ace. All right. Now, if we're going that route, 100 milligrams every other day of test and Tren, and then 200 milligrams every other day of mast prop. Even 150 would, or 175, I guess, would suffice, but 200 would be excellent. These are perfect, okay, moving forward. So if you're going that route, and like I said, when it comes to this particular cycle, I definitely like the short ester version of it. I would do that, 8 weeks. You could go up 10. You could run it longer, but 8 weeks is perfect here. Because you really don't like to run Tren too long, okay? So I really like that stack itself. So that's test, Tren, and mast, how to run it. Now, what can you expect? Well, you can expect a lot of strength. You can expect, if you're eating properly and you're in the right condition to start with, some extreme muscle hardening, some really nice vascularity. You can feel good on this cycle if you run it like I said, okay? Keeping the doses lower and not just dragging yourself down with side effects. But this, you should really see drying out here in a major way if you're doing everything properly with your diet and training. You can still add lean muscle and gain a little bit of size too. It just depends on your goals and how you go about it. But the capabilities are certainly there to do damn near anything. I wouldn't ever call this a bulking cycle, and I don't feel Tren is exactly ideal to bulk, but you can definitely add lean slabs of muscle. And you can definitely cut down in the process too. So, the capabilities, recomposition, cutting, super strong here, depending on how you play your cards. So, that being said, www.icearms.com/forums. I'm also in the evolutionary forum as well as the elite fitness forum. You can also email me, dylan@icearms.com. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.